What's going on, everybody? C4 here. No idea what's going on in this video, how I'm going to title it, what we're going to start out with. It's just on my upload sheet. I had talk about the Super Bowl for Friday's video. So, predictions, I guess. I mean, you know, if you listen to if you're on my Patreon, we do a podcast. We usually talk about predictions. We'll kind of put some predictions in here. I'm hosting the Super Bowl this year because my first year that I got my new place. Decked out my my rec room, and we do usually do like a big pool. Everyone pays $5-10, and we do like a predictions thing for everyone that watches the Super Bowl. And I actually got my hands on the sheet, and we're gonna go through some of my predictions for not just the score of the game, but also prop bets, small little bets, stupid things you literally would never think you could bet on, but actually could bet on. So we're gonna start with how I think the game's actually going to go, because I'm just picking right now the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I'm backing the Kansas City Chiefs because as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, Andy Reid deserves a Super Bowl. I think when you look at the 49ers, you try to look at the positives of either one of these teams. It's a neutral. I'm a clear neutral. You know, you look at the Niners. What do I like about the Niners, okay? Jimmy Garoppolo bangs porn stars. Kind of cool, I suppose. I suppose you could give him a bonus point for that. But on the other hand, a little overrated. I think he's a little overrated. I think his team success is, you know, he's one of those tough guys because he's not really talked about enough. But depending on where you're looking, they might bring up, you know, like, oh, Jimmy. I saw some lists on sports radio that had Garoppolo ahead of like Carson Wentz. Garoppolo was like ahead of Aaron Rodgers and a couple things. Like, I just felt like there's a little bit segment of fans that are putting Garoppolo a little too high up there where he belongs. Yeah, look, I like Mostert. Used to be a former Philadelphia Eagle. I actually liked him when he was in the Eagles. He's one of those guys that played just during the preseason or the Chip Kelly eras. Kittle's the man. I mean, George Kittle's pretty much taken over for Gronk as like the universally liked tight end. You flip to the D. They have a guy named Mike Person on the offensive line. Literally the most 2019 politically correct name, Mike Person. You look at the defense. I mean, it's an exciting defense to cheer for. They got great linebackers. They get like that's my issue. They're just not that exciting to watch. Then you go to the Kansas City Chiefs. We got right here Shady McCoy carrying the ball with one hand. Gotta like that. Patrick Mahomes, universally loved. Like, he's the equivalent of George Kittle on the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone likes Kermit the Frog. I think Kelsey's kind of a dick, but then he's the brother of Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelsey, so I kind of have to like him, even though he's clearly an asshole and tries too hard. Tyreek Hill, most people hate him. He got acquitted of all those issues, but I still think there's probably some gray area where Tyreek Hill is not a great human being. You flip that to offensive line for me. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, probably the best Canadian in the National Football League. You go to the defense. I really like Honey Badger. Honey Badger's one of my favorite DBs in the NFL. I don't really know what else about the rest of the defense. I'm not a big Chiefs defense guy, but then it all comes down to Andy Reid, Big Red, and I think understanding what Andy Reid did for my Philadelphia Eagles when I was getting into becoming an Eagles fan, becoming a fan of the NFL, becoming a fan of what keeps my roof over my head. Andy Reid was a big part of that. If the Eagles sucked. If Andy Reid's Eagles sucked, who knows? I might have got disparaged. Might not ever been an Eagles fan. Might not ever stuck around by watching NFL. Might have went back to being an NHL guy. This might have been an NHL YouTuber's channel if it wasn't for Andy Reid. Andy Reid also, I would like to think, played a massive part in the Philadelphia Eagles getting Doug Peterson, who brought us our first ever Super Bowl title. So I feel like Andy Reid's fingerprints were all over Philadelphia's Super Bowl title, and now it's time for Big Red to get his own. So right off the rip, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. I want the Kansas City Chiefs to win this Super Bowl. So that is like your first big prediction here. What do we got? Final spread, I'm going to say I think every one of the Niners' losses this year has been within one score. And while I do think the biggest deciding factor for me in this game is I think eventually a point's going to come where Jimmy Garoppolo has to match what Patrick Mahomes is going to do. I don't think he can, But going by the statistics, every Niner loss has been within 1 score. So if you want to be a little smart, Kansas City by 1-6 probably is a safe bet if you're going to be betting the final result spread. Your pick for Super Bowl MVP, I think easiest way to go is whoever you're thinking, go with the court. What is this camera angle? Come on, what is this, Madden? Okay, cool. First and goal, and we'll just take Damian Williams right at the middle. Which is actually, we'll get to another prediction in just 1 second, because my prediction for first player to score is actually not Damian Williams. But if it is for the Kansas City Chiefs, it will be Damian Williams. But the 3 picks for Super Bowl MVP, for I'll just give you my main pick. It's you go with the quarterback, right? Patrick Mahomes, if I'm thinking the Chiefs are going to win. If not, if we're not discussing quarterbacks, which is kind of a cop-out, if you want to think outside the box, I think a good shout for Super Bowl MVP would be Travis Kelce. I think Travis Kelce is going to be the kind of guy who gets a bunch of receptions. Oh my God. Everything about the Chiefs offense is like how you want to play in Madden. But I think Travis Kelce is a guy. But then again, I'm not going to put Mahomes. You go with the quarterback. You go with the safe option. First player to score a touchdown. Now here's where you use analytics yet again. You use analytics to predict the final spread. Kansas City by 1 score, less than 1 score. For this first player to score a touchdown, the 49ers start out hot. And the Niners are going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs start out slow. Every playoff game so far, the Chiefs have been in like a 10, 13, 14-point hole. Like, I'm going to be shocked. If there's a way you could bet Niners leading at the end of the first quarter, you take that action. But I think first player to score a touchdown, you're going to be looking at the 49ers. And I think I'm going to be siding with either Raheem Mostert or Deebo Samuel. I think it's going to be some sort of gimmicky run, not a traditional between the tackles run. I can see Deebo Samuel getting a toss, like he's doing some sort of trick play, or Raheem Mostert getting an untraditional, like I don't know, some sort of screen, something like that. Those would be my picks. First points of the game, I would go 49ers field goal. There you go, something like that. I think shit, because you might have to. You think about the experience in this game. I mean, Shanahan's been to a Super Bowl. It was a memey Super Bowl, maybe the most memey Super Bowl of all time. But you think Andy Reid has all the experience, but Andy Reid's only been to 1 Super Bowl, so they have about the same. And I think that Shanahan's going to start out strong, and I think those Niners are going to get the opening couple scores. Honestly, couple scores. I'm going to say they'll get I think it'll be 13-0 Niners to kick that game off, and then Patrick Mahomes wakes up. They stop playing with their food, and the Kansas City Chiefs start getting about that action, boss. We got Patrick Mahomes passing yards over 305, under 305. I think it's absolutely going to be over, just because Chiefs aren't a known running team, and I think this is going to be a game at the end of the day. Andy Reid's going to go, let's just let our quarterback prove that he's the best player on the field. So I think he's definitely going over 305. Jimmy Garoppolo passing yards over 375, under. I'm going to say he's going to actually go over. He's got to throw the ball. You can't just have this Niners, let's run the ball. They're going to try to come in the game, let's run the ball, let's control the clock, let's keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. That is how the Niners are going to have any chance at winning the Super Bowl. They could do it if they play like they did against Green Bay and only have their $100 million quarterback throw it 6 times. But I think it's going to become a point in time where the Chiefs will stop the Niners running game like they did Derrick Henry and the Titans. And Garoppolo's got to throw the ball enough that if 375 is the big number getting thrown around for passing yards for Jimmy G, you go that. What do we got? Will there be a defensive touchdown scored in the game? I'm going to say no. Patrick Mahomes plays pretty turnover-free football. It's not going to be a game where Mahomes throws it 40-plus times, which is with the area that he gets when he might throw an interception or two. So I'm going to say no defensive special teams touchdown scored. We're going to, what do we got here? Jesus. Will there be a completed pass thrown by someone besides Mahomes or Garoppolo? A.k.a. will there be a trick play? I'm trying to think, do either one of these teams really run trick plays like that? I mean, Andy Reid used to run those trick plays back in Philadelphia, but I think that was more so Marty Mornhinweg, our old OC. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say there's not going to be a completed pass thrown by someone besides Mahomes or Garoppolo. But I would love whatever scenario has Andy Reid running a Philly special, just kind of like an homage to Doug Peterson and to the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, if there's a way, if there's a script, if this is going to be a story, a movie, that you could say the Kansas City Chiefs at some point can run a Philly special pass Mahomes catching a touchdown from, it's probably going to be Travis Kelce, because he's the only guy with the arrogance to say, yes, let me do a play like that. That would be unreal. But right now I'm taking that bet. That's not going to happen. There's one bet that I want to finish up with here that I think absolutely everyone that's watching this video that finds out that we're going to be talking about predictions is going to be waiting for. So we got, will J-Lo sing the first note? Like, will she be the person that kicks off the duet? I think, no. I think it's going to be Shakira. I think Shakira's going to start. There's obviously that. Games leader in receiving yards. Now, this is receiving yards, I find, is usually a dark horse. Rushing, you kind of know who the leading rusher is going to be. But I think when it comes to receiving yards, could be a little bit of a surprise. I think it's going to be on the Kansas City Chiefs side. McCole Hardman could be an interesting option for those of you betting. I think Sammy Watkins, who said that he might retire next year or just take a year off football, I believe was his exact words. I think that's kind of interesting. Maybe they'll try to force feed him. Maybe they'll try to utilize him. But ultimately, I think it's going to be Tyreek Hill because the Niners do not have anyone on defense that can match his speed. Rich Sherman's slow. Ahkello Witherspoon, not a good enough corner to put it all together. He might be fast enough. I think he was like 4.3, high 4.4 speed. Still, that's not really, I'm going to contain Tyreek Hill speed. And they got like Emmanuel Mosley, not enough speed. So for a leading receiver, give me Tyreek Hill. Not a shocking prediction by any means. Leading rusher, I'm going hot hand. I'm going to say Raheem Mostert. We don't know the availability of that man right there, Tevin Coleman. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? But receiving yards, give me Tyreek. Rushing yards, give me Raheem Mostert, which would be dope. I love Raheem Mostert. He was with Philly, I think, for 2 preseasons. I think like literally 1 preseason, he had like 2 kickoffs for touchdowns, and then we just decided to keep Kenyon Barner. I was like, oh man, because that Mostert guy, he was like a track guy, didn't really play a whole lot of football at Purdue. I was like, that's sick. So I'm gonna give him for rushing yards. And then lastly, we can't choke this game. Big can't choke it for Big Red. The most important betting line, prop bet of Super Bowl. Will there be twerking during the halftime show? You can actually bet on that, and I hope so. There were so many people. Again, there's always that demographic when they announce who's going to be the Super Bowl halftime show. They're like, why don't they do someone that fits the demographic? I used to be that kind of guy. Like, why don't we do Metallica? Why don't we do, like, we're in Miami. I don't know anyone famous from Miami. Why don't we have Will Smith come do Welcome to Miami? Some old school bangers like that. They don't do it. Okay, great. We're going to have to come 15, 17-point comeback. But J-Lo banging, Shakira isn't bad either. Like, this is going to be a dope Super Bowl. Unless they're going to be completely PC, this is definitely going to be a Super Bowl that, you hear name value like J-Lo, Shakira, they don't seem like they've been, super relevant or anything like that over the last little bit. But if you're the male audience, this is a Super Bowl that does cater towards the male audience. Who does not want to be most likely half drunk, half in the bag? If you're in Canada, it's legal. If you're in Colorado, it's legal. If you're torched, you're blitzed, and we're not talking about play calling. Watching Shakira just J-Lo do her thing, okay? I think it's going to be an excellent Super Bowl. I cannot wait. It's my girlfriend's birthday on the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to be obnoxious about it, but I'm excited. And if there's twerking, I'm 100% going to put all my money on yes, because I better see some twerking in the Super Bowl, or else I'm going to write a nasty worded tweet. So there you go, boys. We're going to try to win this game. That's everything you need to know about Super Bowl LIV. You got your winners. You got some nice prop bets. You got the action that I'm going to be taking on. We got Mahomes making dumb, stupid plays. And even though this said the 49ers win, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. So let me know what you guys think for your predictions for the Super Bowl. I think it's almost consent. Like, I think most people are neutrals. I don't personally know any Chiefs fans. I have a diehard Niners fan that's actually be coming over, and I'm going to be giving him shit. But it seems like, for a lot of neutrals, we're going with the Kansas City Chiefs, unless you're a fan of someone in the AFC West. So, but let me know your Super Bowl predictions. Let me know, most importantly, do you think there will be twerking at the halftime show from J-Lo and Shakira? And hopefully I'm not the only one that's putting $50 on that there will be. And that does it for me today, guys. And I'm going to get right back to work. We're going to have a new Realistic Rebuild coming out Saturday. And as promised, hyped up a little bit, Super Bowl Sunday. there's going to be the debut of our new franchise mode that I've already kind of recorded a little bit of it because I don't want to work that much on this weekend. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, it's C4 saying peace